welcome to, I think, the 10th episode of the
so. Yeah, I believe
of
this is
the tripod. Yeah, I think we've
yeah.
made it to 10 now, double digits. And I'm here with my co-hosts, Rocky and
What's up, guys?
Jason.
Yeah, as always.
Now we're actually a professional podcast now that we've made it into the double digits.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
absolutely.
it works. We're
You just gotta hit the
officially
10 mark.
podcasters. Yep, we can take that title.
And it's going to be like fucking 2 years before we hit triple digits, so...
Yeah, so we can take this achievement as we get them, for sure. I think we had a good conversation about, if you guys haven't checked it out, we have raw analysis, as well as we're going to be doing Titan analysis here soon. But I know, Peter, you're going to be doing you had some like ideas for the pod today, right? So I'm also going to look up a little bit of news, so maybe we can sprinkle that throughout, see if there is anything interesting. But yeah, what did you want to start with?
Yes, well, let me... I actually just went and I've got like this weird promotion thing. For some reason, they're promoting a Talk to Me set, which looks pretty fucking cool, but the hand doesn't have any signatures on it.
So Peter sent me a link to purchase a hand bong, like the Ouija board hand, but it's a bong, and it's only $110.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Right, so
I want that.
I was trying to work it out. I reckon it is, right? Because I was spinning the model, and there's a hole in the finger, and then there's obviously the bit on the top. I know it's for like a candle or something, but it looks like you can just
so
put
they
it
call
there.
them incense burners in places that they're not allowed to call them bongs, but they're still technically bongs, and even incense burners are definitely going to be that. But also for us...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the legal loophole. So that's the main way, is that if you want to sell bongs, especially in America, cross state lines, you have to call them incense burners.
Fucking A24 had like an advertisement where the boys were like burning incense, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a thing for weed. Everybody that's like in the know kind of knows about that.
Right.
Or like, for example, you'll find websites for like Amanita muscaria, for example, is this mushroom, or certain designer drug chemicals that it'll be like, not for human consumption, meant for scientific research, and it's like, it's never meant for scientific research. But definitely on our end, though, I don't know about for you, when that link pops up, though, it actually says like, it makes a joke about like, it's for incense or for a bong. But I don't know. It's sometimes websites will have it if it's like in California, because we're so pro weed. They literally will just have a different description for it depending on what location you're at. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopefully gonna get that. But yeah, that they're not selling for some reason. Umbrella has the official like 4K Blu-ray, which I'm also gonna get. But I watched the main film that they were promoting, which was this Godless thing.
Oh yeah.
Which they've got some pretty cool promotion for it, and I don't know where it's out or when it's out. I think it's out in most of Europe and America, because they said the Blu-ray comes out October 2nd, so it should be out.
Okay.
It was a very interesting film. It's interesting going to a premiere, because a lot of the complaints that I had,
Yeah.
the director like explains afterwards, like, oh, well, this wasn't really a mistake, this is just why we did this. And I was like, well, I see what you were going for. I didn't love it, but
Yeah, that's the thing, is there's a lot of times where in films people will have like explanations, but like it's funny sometimes too, because you can see like a massive leap in logic a lot of the times with directors, but the problem is they want it to work and they want it to fit so bad that they'll like force some narrative on it, and to them, because they want that, they'll just jump out whatever explanation they can give. And so I found that that's why
a scene that has nothing to do with most of the film just to fit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is because they feel it's necessary. And this is why I always say, like, don't you like, or we talked about yesterday even, you don't really want to always trust the director, because the director a lot of the times doesn't even know necessarily what they're working towards, or has some sort of subconscious bias
Well, that's
of
why-
what they want that they don't quite get.
That's why I like Cronenberg and Lynch, because they literally will just drop you off in the forest and say, "Go try to find what I'm asking you to find."
Your hand.
You just have to kind of like
you gotta know.
dissect the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And you really have to think about like, hey, why is this like this? And it's usually an irrational type thing where most people don't think like especially with Lynch films, like, oh, what do the rabbits mean, or what, like, what is the woman in the alley? It's just like, yeah, those things are just
People
have to
love
really
calling just surrealist shit just weird, and then they don't like. That's
they
why
don't.
It is
Yeah,
a thing that you have to kind of know because surrealism is one of those ones that you do like have to kind of just let it be more analytical, and hopefully it's entertaining. But like you have to have that, and if you're not into that, you're
watch Tim
just
Burton.
be like, oh, this is weird.
yeah, no, just watch if you can.
Sure.
Just watch Tim Burton films.
Or
They're very
MCU,
easy to
or,
understand.
like,
They're
any,
not,
like,
but they are
popcorn
surreal.
Yeah,
But they're
popcorn
easy.
cinema.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like Edward Scissorhands is kind of surreal. Like I could. Say,
Yeah,
for
it's
example.
definitely, especially like the house that he's living in, and you have the giant
Well, and
freaking
he,
roof
like,
that's
he
like has a hole
molds
in
the
it.
hands, and they're not quite.
Yeah,
right.
it's
like,
just
he's a creator. Like it's all very like.
And then he has a
Frankenstein-y.
crazy ability to like cut up trees and make them look like objects.
Oh,
and
he was
shit.
an artist. That was
Yeah.
the thing. Like his hands were dangerous, but
And then that
like,
woman
made him
tried
hard.
to R-word him.
Oh, no, the whole town wanted to fuck him. It was
Yeah, yes. Like, Jesus
absolutely
Christ, leave
ridiculous.
this poor man alone. He's just
Uh,
figuring out
But
civilization.
yeah, and that's why, like, I think, that's the community that I want to build is people that are into the analytical side of movies as well, because that's what I find to be very fun, at least in like a conversational setting. At least, like, there is the piece of like, hey, is this movie entertaining and is it a fun watch? And then there is the piece of like, oh, can I sit around with my bros and talk about this for a fucking hour or think about this for a while? And that a lot of people, they don't want to really do that. They don't want to talk about for the movie maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want
after
to
you're
think
done.
about that, bro.
Yeah,
I just watched the
it was
film
a
to
good
watch the
movie.
film.
All right, let's just move on. It's like
Like
friends
when we
like
saw
that.
Crimes of the Future, and we were so fucking high, and
Yeah, too loaded, yeah.
like, but there was the one girl that was left in the theater, and
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
I would have
Still
wanted to
shout out that
ask
girl,
her,
so
like,
no, no.
what did you think of this film? Because there's have you seen other Cronenberg films?
Yeah.
Well, that's the type of people that I would love to have a conversation
Or like
with.
actually, what I started doing is because Reddit, I was engaging with really lazily, and I'll admit that because I fucking hate Reddit. Like, there's a lot of fucking pieces of shit on Reddit, and I still stand by that. But lately, now what I've been doing is if I'll post like when I like the Motel Hell video, or like I posted the raw analysis and shit like that, I'll go more into like, oh, this is my analysis, this is what I think about the film, and then I'll be like, also I break down the film in this video, and then usually people don't. The main thing is that people will downvote it just because there's a link in it.
Yeah.
Even if you post a fucking 20-paragraph thing, people will downvote it.
Oh
just
no,
because, like,
yeah, there's
which
this
is so
whole
stupid.
weird thing on Reddit about do not fucking
Anti-YouTube.
advertise.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
it's
you
like,
can't
dude, if I
advertise
post a
your stuff.
long post here about like this film, I'm engaging with the community properly, and I've always went and replied to people that reply to me on Reddit. Like, I've never been one to just post a video.
It's like
and
nobody's
not
forcing you to
engage
click on it.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. So, but like even now, even with some of these things, I posted these long paragraph shit, and then people will just downvote it because there's a link in it. But for the most part, I have noticed that there are a lot of people that there are a couple trolls, of course. Like there was this one guy who insisted that Raw was not a horror movie, that he couldn't remember the body horror aspects, that there was no finger eating for some reason.
Wait,
And
then he didn't watch
I
it.
was like, you didn't watch the movie, and he's like, no, the sisters piss on the roof together, right? I was like, that's not the only part of the whole movie, dude. Yeah, that is one part of the movie,
Yeah,
but that's not
like-
the whole fucking film, dude. So I fucking hate that guy. And that guy was a piece of shit. But everybody else in that thread actually was like giving.
No, I guarantee you he got to the part where she was about to eat her finger and then just like, nope.
Yeah, he
and he
just
turned it off.
yeah, he's a
and
bitch.
I know the rest of the film.
he's a
I know
bitch.
what happened.
Yeah, 100%.
None of that happened because I turned it
yeah.
off as soon as it started.
Yeah, but there is definitely some level of community. Like there was a few people that like were suggested for their films and all that other stuff, and so there definitely is this community that appreciates like certain levels of analysis and all that. I think it is definitely very niche though. But what I find is that niche audience tends to be what like sets trends. Like that niche audience is usually what's gonna like see what blows up on a small indie level, and then when something starts to make money on a small level, then larger studios realize that they can exploit it. They go in, they utilize the same properties, topics, etc., and then they fuck it to death until they get all the money they can.
Yeah, and I
That's
mean,
about it.
honestly, I would. The one thing I kept thinking about is I would petition just to have schlocky be included in like the genres, like action,
Dude, best
adventure,
schlocky movie of the year.
schlocky, comedy.
Best
like,
schlocky movie of the year.
Yeah, like I
100%.
think it should be a genre
We need
because.
that. Well, it is a genre,
But
just
it's
that
not-
well known.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And-
not well known.
But even
do
though
you know what
there are a
schlocky
lot
actually
of.
means, it means trash.
Yeah.
That's like it means trashy movie.
But then you would have people saying, well, is Black Adam schlocky?
Well, see, but there can be a debate for that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that it's like clear. I think
So it's
probably
not- you
but I
don't think it's
super
stuck to
clear
horror?
cut. What was it? No. I don't think
Okay.
schlocky is stuck to horror. I think because, like I said, I think that there was a schlocky movie I mentioned earlier that, or like even like RoboCop. That's not like a horror. But
I mean, it's horrifying
like
for him when he sees the gunshots that killed him in the first place at the beginning of the first
there are some parts
RoboCop.
that you can say are disturbing, but I wouldn't call it like a horror.
I think there are horror aspects of RoboCop.
Sure, but I mean, in the genre, I don't think they literally classify it as a
Well,
horror.
like Predator. You think Predator is like the
Predator?
original with Arnold?
Oh, actually, like the original Alien. Obviously, depending on how you look at the thing, you can look at kind of being schlocky. I guess it depends on like the practical. I think but
is it the acting? If the acting is extremely good, it's not a schlocky at that point, right?
Usually, it has to entail two things. You have to have like some level of like over the top practical effects that are like they don't exactly look perfect or great.
Yeah, like
but they're like
television
really
was-
cringy. Yeah, like cringy and funny. And then beyond that, there does need to be some level of like bad acting, and then the overall film needs to be like kind of so bad that it's good. That's what schlocky kind of is.
God, I can't remember the name of it.
Or like The Love Witch. I said The Love Witch was kind of a drama. It's not really a horror. It's like a drama, but that I would consider like a schlocky type film.
There was maybe Peter, you'll remember if you saw it. There was an Adam Driver movie where basically zombies come in, and then he's like a cop or something. I can't remember it. It felt very schlocky though when I watched it because his acting is very numb, and the zombies come. He's like, "Oh, I guess they're here now." Yeah. And it's like it's actually a really good movie.
Knock Knock, schlocky.
Okay.
Knock Knock is a schlocky movie.
Well, I don't think you can include Ana de Armas and schlocky.
What are you talking about?
No, I mean it is a documentary based on the terrible things that happened to Keanu Reeves by Ana de Armas. I don't know how she continued.
I mean, is it terrible?
Is what terrible?
What she did to him?
Yeah, well, duh.
Oh,
what do you mean?
I don't think it is. Honestly, I mean, I would just take it, you know.
I mean, maybe Jason's one of those guys that's like, I want Ana de Armas to ruin my life.
Yeah,
to like literally take my family.
I'll let her ruin my life. That exactly.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Jason watched that film and was like, oh, it's got a happy ending. Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It's called The Dead Don't Die.
The Dead Don't Die.
Oh, yeah.
Warm Bodies.
Like Warm this is literally the cover.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, that looks like a 90s.
Yeah, like you definitely. Yeah, we should give this a watch sometime.
Warm Bodies, that terrible zombie movie that's a romantic zombie film.
Warm Bodies, yeah.
Okay, I actually kind of like that movie because it was so bad.
Wasn't both of them became big actors? I thought.
Yeah, wasn't it like Nicholas Hoult or something?
Yeah, it was Nicholas Hoult. Holy shit, Jesus Christ! So, no, that was a good movie.
No, I don't, but it's schlocky. Like that's one of those movies that's like so bad that it's good. It, like,
but their acting is very good.
Their acting was good, but it was over the top. That's the thing, is they were told to probably go over the top, and I think over the top kind of cringe is what schlocky really is.
Yeah, like there's a like when you watch like a movie like Evil Dead Rises, like the recent one.
Yeah.
It's not schlocky.
No, that's just horror.
But it feels sometimes over the top.
It is,
like especially the end.
No, but it's a splatter film. That's because there is a difference between splatter cinema and schlocky.
But it's a good splatter film, unlike Eli Ross crap.
Yeah. Because well, that's because the whole first part is this like intense psychological horror that like goes into the depths of this family bonding thing, and then it uses the ending to be this juxtaposition of the amalgamation of the sins that this person has done and that she has to confront. So that's why it was good, is because the whole first part sets up this really like interesting surrealist bit, and then the end goes into the splatter part, which is like, okay, that's fine. Anyway, we're way off. Schlocky should be a genre. That's true. Back to Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I watched this thing, Godless. Okay. Apparently they're premiering it in a bunch of places. I thought it was interesting. It was like an exorcism film, but more focused on like the religious aspect, based on a true story of like how exorcisms aren't always good, and it was like exploring mental health and female abuse and stuff, and like most exorcisms that are done can have like horrible side effects like death in the real world, and a lot of those usually are just women that they just beat the shit out of and they die. So I thought it was very interesting. Obviously I thought the film was really well paced, and it looked cinematic as fuck. I don't know, I haven't seen any of this guy's other films. I think his name was Nick Kosciuszko. But apparently he does like music videos for like Masked Wolf or something. That guy that does like,
Oh yeah, I know that guys. Yeah,
yeah, that meme song.
yeah. Rolling in the Deep. Is it the Rolling in the Deep
Yeah,
song? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and then he also does music videos for Tones and I, the people that did the Fortnite concert. Like
Okay.
he's got a lot of experience, I guess. So the movie looked really fucking good. Like it looked very cinematic
Okay.
throughout pretty much the whole thing. And the editing and pacing was like really fast paced for the first two parts. The third part I didn't like as much, but that's just my take. A lot of
Right.
the women in the audience seemed to really like what it did, whereas I was kind of expecting the way that they set it up that it would kind of have like a generic horror sort of third act, whereas it went very different into like a real world aspect.
Got it.
And it was interesting because there were multiple people that got possessed throughout the film, and they all said that they were possessed by Legion. And then on the poster, there's like this demon. I don't know if you can see the demon,
Yeah.
which they call Legion. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, well, it's clearly setting up that there's a demon called Legion that possesses people.
Uh-huh.
But then by the end, it's like, well, no, everyone just had the same belief that they were possessed by someone called Legion, but they were all just suffering mental issues. And I was like, well, the way that you kind of just showed them all saying Legion without setting up why they all say the same word was kind of weird. But people,
Was it like
everyone else
One
seemed
of
to
the
like
main.
it.
Was it like a connection to possibly like a cult? Like when
Also,
cult
what was it? What
people
time
like
period was it set?
possibly? I mean, you'd have to have a mental
Yeah,
illness
it
to
was
sit there and
set.
follow a cult, right?
It was set in '95 in Melbourne, Australia, and
Mm.
the guy at the end explained that the idea was this religion in this town was like
Yeah.
so advanced into believing in this legion as the devil thing that
Yeah.
everyone believed that, but they never showed the main character as religious, and they imply that she never went to church. That's why she got possessed. So I was just, I thought there should have been like a line where her husband was like, "Baby, you're possessed by legions," so that like the idea gets put in her head. But I
Sure.
guess they
Yeah.
just cut it out for time or something.
I
But
think
I mean, I
one
thought it was pretty good.
For sure. I think one thing is that, like, especially, this is one of the main theories, too, of how, like, near-death experiences will come about, is that what'll happen is you'll find that when people have these near-death experiences and whatnot, or they have these out-of-body experiences or visions, they seem to go along with whatever religion that they previously had, or at least that it was common within their country. They might not even be Catholic or have ever stepped in a church, but because, like, throughout their life they've heard of this thing because it's common, like evangelicalism is common throughout the South, for example. Like, it's something
Yeah.
that kind of weaves itself into the societal mind in a certain way. And so there are a lot of people that when they come back, like if they live in America, it's most common that you see a light and you see Jesus. But if you live in the Middle East, it's more common that you're going to see Muhammad in their version of things. If you live in India, you're going to be more common to see their religious things. So that's one aspect. And another thing too that me and Jason had this kind of bit about that we never actually got to filming was, I kind of theorized, and then I looked into it later, but I was like, what if like seizures were something that they looked at back in the day as like, oh my god, they're having a demonic episode? Because like in movies they do depict it that way a lot, and when I looked it up, I did find out that like kind of was the case. Like there was a lot of either schizophrenia or even seizures and all this other shit that way back in the day, especially before we had any idea of what would cause these things, that they would literally just be like, oh, you're possessed by
there
a
could be
demon.
diseases that cause the seizure, possibly if
For
you're
sure.
extremely overheated.
And we didn't
all
know
that
about
stuff, yeah.
diseases back in the day. We didn't know about germs. We didn't know about shit like that. And so they kind of just portrayed everything as like, oh, the demons have gotten to you. And so it's like we
Yeah.
had this idea of like, oh, one of us kind of does like looks like they're having a seizure, and then all of a sudden the doctor comes over, hey, get an exorcist. We need to get this guy. He's got demons. We need to get
Well,
him out of him.
yeah, and these are the same people that sit there and accuse women of being witches. And I
Yeah, exactly.
personally believe they just didn't want to fuck the dudes, and they just automatically
Or
witch,
they did
and
fuck
then
the
burn her
dudes
at the
and
stake.
threatened to tell the wives.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Like,
yeah,
that was the
yeah,
town
they
whore,
cheated.
usually.
Yeah,
And actually, I
exactly.
think that was a true thing that happened a lot of
Yeah,
times.
the whore got around
Yeah.
and she got burned at the stake by
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah, before she could tell. Yeah, it's really fucked.
Yeah, so like that's pretty close. I think the film's like mismarketed, but it's very much like a drama with horror elements, and
Okay.
it deals with like a woman with mental health issues because of trauma, and like how her husband is super religious and is just like yeah, it must be like a demon, and then the consequences, the real world consequences of like these husbands that in actual cases, like in New Zealand, would bring in an
Yeah.
exorcist. The fucking wife gets exorcised and like beat up, and then they just get
Which
off
is
because
crazy. They
the
would just like
church
beat
comes in
their
and is
ass.
like, yeah, yeah, they get very physical, and
That's psychotic.
a lot of people have died doing exorcisms like that, and then nobody gets sentenced because it's like the church just comes in and is like, yeah, these guys are cool,
Yeah, they were trying to help with the possession.
and it's tough because they're trying to help. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a tough
it's very
job. They're like
interesting.
doctors, you know.
Yeah, they gotta run in there and beat
sometimes
the
the
shit
doctor
out of
loses
the
the
patients.
patient, unfortunately, and
Yeah,
it's
when
kind of
they're
like,
beating their skull in severely.
yeah. I
That's
mean, when
most
you,
common. For
yeah,
doctors to
and
lose their
that's where
patients.
Constantine, he was a
Yeah.
big guy who sit there and exorcise the demons.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no, that
think
sounds interesting though.
people should grab it when it's on digital because I wish I'd watched it at home because I would have laughed at some bits. I think it would be a good film with drama, but also some funny elements. Like there's one demon that's literally just like a tradie, like a rednecky kind of guy that starts talking about how he didn't get vaccinated. And I was like, this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
ghost is like,
It's
he's
over the
not
top.
like possessing her and twisting her neck. He's possessing her with ideas of not getting vaccinated. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
that's
very
kind of funny.
interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think. Did we watch Jules? We talked about Jules yesterday a bit. That one was quite good. I don't think we really watched
You
any
guys
other new thing.
watch
Mhm.
One Piece as well, though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
fucking
forgot we didn't talk
amazing.
about it. Yeah, no, we I really loved
Arc
One
by
Piece.
arc, you guys finished the Kuro arc, the guy with the knives. That was where
Yeah,
we were last at.
yeah, we
Yeah.
finished the guy with the knives and how I reminded Jason that he had a premonition of the fact that
Mhm.
the poisoning would be a thing, and I like that they had like Cookie Monster cooked up into a pot, and I guess that's how they were poisoning people.
Yeah.
I think that like definitely throughout the thing, I think it did a good job of ramping up repeatedly, and I think we talked about this before. After Party 2 did that as well, and like that's one thing that I think is now something that really wasn't part of my bar for a show before, but now I think, especially in these kind of shorter limited series, for example, I'm gonna kind of look for it
Yeah.
because when you have this kind of crescendo effect, it definitely makes me more excited for season 2. And then on top of that, it really has this thing where it kind of gets you roped in, it gets you slightly on board, and then it goes like once it gets chugging along, it feels like, oh yeah, this makes all complete sense, and I don't need you to drag it out for 100 episodes because like, oh yeah, I can kind of just let my suspension of disbelief happen because the characters are so in-depth, believable, and relatable that I'm like, oh yeah, I get this. And then for example, having like Kobe have his moments where he both listens to his code and his mind and his own moral kind of
Yeah.
ethics was kind of cool, seeing how he maneuvered this really interesting like job that he had to do. I really like the aspect that we didn't really know about like Luffy's grandpa and like that being the captain. I enjoyed
Yeah,
how
well, I'm very interested to hear what you guys thought of Bharati, having not watched the actual anime, because that's
uh,
the arc where they changed the most, but I don't think it would be noticeable,
okay.
which was
It,
6 and 7.
I haven't kept all the names in mind, but
Just like the arc where they introduced Sanji, the like
Oh,
chef stuff.
yeah,
oh
no,
yeah, I like that
Zeph,
one.
yeah, like, I honestly, when Sanji left, I cried. Like, when he was looking at Zeph and there was this moment,
Yeah,
like, this father-son moment, it was just
Oh yeah, that
really
was
well
a
done.
really good
That
episode.
whole
I love
episode
that.
is so fucking well done, and you
Oh,
get
and
this
I
backstory, and it's,
love how he like feeds the guy earlier on, and he's
and it's
like
part of the
really,
thing,
like,
yeah.
certain about it.
He
But
told
then
him to
later
feed him,
on,
he's
it is
hungry.
revealed that like, oh yeah, no, the main chef also says that everybody should eat when they come. So,
Oh,
like,
and
that
the
was
dude
really...
with the fucking giant blade that beat Zora, holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
I love that dude.
the captain of
That
the
dude
sea.
is
He's
awesome.
really cool. And then the way that dude, it's so. Here's the thing: is I think that this show
His
does. Go ahead.
his introduction when he kills uh the name is escaping me because they cut him, but the purple haired guy.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they introduced the sword guy just killing the purple haired guy. The
Yeah.
purple hair guy was the main villain in the anime for that arc, but then he
Okay.
just killed him, which I think the way they did it really worked out.
Yeah,
Because
it
they
felt
focused
like
more
he
on the
was.
characters.
And it felt like he was a real badass, and he came in here having this like level of you know, being able to do whatever the fuck he wants, but he also has this kind of moral code and he has this respect. But I think that the main thing that this show did so well is that it has all of these like aspects of it that are very much live action. They don't really go as hard on the anime spots in a lot of spots, but like for example, they allow the moments like when Zoro fights, you know, the captain of the sea. It's so anime.
Yeah,
like
the warlord.
He's saying, the warlord. He's like going out, he's like, I must
Pulls out the
defeat
little
you.
fucking knife.
Yeah, he
That
pulls
is
out the little
hilarious. I
knife,
was like,
dude.
what the
Oh
fuck?
my god! And
So
then,
disrespectful.
and he just kind of cuts
Yeah.
him down the middle, and he's laying there like, you know, like he's about to die, and is going into how I will serve you for the rest of my life, and like all that. I will become the best swordsman, and then he just fucking falls.
And
like
then
punches.
Zoro basically tells him, yeah, don't stab me from the back, stab me in the front.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? He just
Yeah.
took it. Like, it.
Fucking
Yeah.
swordsman, a swordsman's shame are scars on the back.
Yep.
Fucking great.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, I felt like that's the reason why this live action works so much better than everything else, because everything else-
Mihawk.
Mihawk is
Mihawk is his
yeah,
name.
he's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's the main thing is
His
that
casting was incredible.
Oh my
Oh,
god. Yeah. Like, the only one that I've heard complaints about is Yusuf. People don't like the actor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't
don't
heard
mind.
people complaining about the race swapping, because they did quite a lot, but I think it works out.
Mhm.
The only one I've seen people complaining about is Nami's sister, but I don't think it really affects anything.
No,
No.
yeah.
Of course, everyone
She
has
was
to
only
go
in
like,
that small
"Oh, she's
one
black."
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they were
it's-
orphans, weren't they? I thought that was kind of the thing.
That's
She
what
was
I felt,
adopted.
yeah.
Yeah, so of course they're going to be a different. That would make more sense.
Yeah,
My
and she was only in the
favorite,
one episode. That was
yeah.
so I don't understand how.
Yeah, people are
Yeah.
just fucking assholes. Anyway,
My favorite thing across the whole thing,
Yeah.
which hopefully you guys felt as well,
Yeah.
is when she finally is like, she breaks down and she's like, help me, like, and she's crying, and he's just like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
just puts the hat
Yeah,
on her and is like,
Luffy.
of course I'll help you.
Yeah, it's
What a
such
fucking-
yeah, it's like a brother sister moment. It's really
it really
touching.
goes to show that. And this is what I was going to say earlier about the grandpa. Is I really like this line that's drawn between Luffy and the first pirate that we see get beheaded at the beginning, and how they're kind
Well, they
of
call him
there's talk of, like,
Monkey D. Garp, I guess is.
Oh, is the guy? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I like the fact that the grandpa wasn't like trying to actually stop him, because he probably knew he never would be able to. What he was trying to do was he was trying to test his grit and see what he's made of. And it really, throughout this whole season, that's what it does so well. It sets Luffy up as a respectable leader who just wants the best for everybody. And like that's one of the most anime things that you can get, but at the same time, it's like one of those things about anime that is so endearing, is that you have like these characters that you can tie yourselves to, that you like. There is less like nuance into some of their actions, and they are just like good. And sometimes I feel like the problem is you have our version of that in America is you have Marvel, which is so bland and boring.
Yeah.
Where you have
Yeah.
something like this, where like Luffy has tough decisions sometimes.
Yeah,
He
well, and Nami
always
even
does the right
attacks
thing.
him on some of the decisions that he should be making.
Well, exactly.
Like when
Like, at
Zoro
first he doesn't go
fought, she
into
got
it,
pissed
yeah.
because she basically said, "Why did you
You
allow him
needed
to
to
do
stop
that?"
him, yeah.
And then he's like, "Well,
I
it's his
love-
dream."
Yeah, when his
I
reasoning was
lo-
fair. Go ahead.
I really loved just so much of his character in the final arc. Like, I remember when the sister Nojiko was like, "Why are you helping Nami? You don't even know what she's done." And Luffy's like, "Doesn't matter what she's done." And like, he doesn't even need Nami to tell him like what happened. Like, I feel like in other shows it would be like, "Oh, help me!" Like Arlong did blah 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 blah. But as soon as she just says, "Help me," Luffy's like, "Yeah, I got you. Like, of course I'm gonna help you. I was just waiting for
Because
you
he's
to
good
need my
to a
help."
fault. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good to a
it's
fault.
his
And I feel like we don't
character,
get that many characters like that.
Yeah.
And that can also be his downfall. Is like that's why he says, right? Like, oh,
Well,
this is what
everybody
his
on this
dream
ship
was, and
is
that's him being
his
good to a
family.
fault.
That's what
Yeah,
he's building a
yeah.
family. That's you
Well,
know.
and he never wanted to be stopped from doing his dream.
Yeah.
Right? So like he doesn't see
Yeah.
it right to stop other people from doing what they wanted to. And I think that that's also valid and a sign of a leader. Like not trying to hold this like strict lines over people and whatnot, and like this is the box that you need to be in, is definitely what allows your crew to like advance and
Well,
learn a lot more.
I remember, Peter, you had said that Arlong's story is a lot bigger than what the show had kind of betrayed.
Yeah, well, I think I was saying along the lines of like the Arlong Park arc is short, but there is like 100 episode, which would basically be 10 episodes in the live action arc called Fisherman Island, which I think gets a lot more into like that sort of stuff. I mean, Arlong
Okay.
obviously has a bit. They didn't show a lot of it in the live action, but the anime has like a lot of like the race relation stuff. Obviously, they're like I don't know why it's so prevalent in Japan, but they're obviously like characters that are supposed to be black
Yeah,
or
Arlong's even played
similar
by
to
a
that.
black actor too.
There
Yeah.
So
was
yeah, that
some of
makes
that felt like, I mean, with how Oda be setting some shit up, I mean, it be making me a little sus,
The
especially
thing
because I know how
they
Japan
went
be.
very much they went very much over the well, not over the top, but there's a lot more uh, of a black touch across the series, especially in the
Uh-huh.
Arlong Park arc, because the director's like a African American guy. So I think he
That's
made
true.
a lot more of the fishermen way blacker
I
than they
do
were in the
find it
anime.
very weird though that there's still the thing of like Zoro hates like everybody in his class and except the one Asian person, and they just happen to all be black. And somebody in the comments said, and this has stuck with me since. Somebody in the comments of that video you said, we said it really hits different when you realize Oda had a hand in pretty much all of
Were they
this.
all black?
And
Because
I
I
was
thought
like,
they was all
oh
mixed.
no, it does mean it was
I
intentional.
thought like it was a mix.
No, I'll have to find it. Peter sent me like the proof. Like it's
Okay.
bad. The allegations are.
I mean, the only
That's
thing
all
I
I'm
can
saying.
compare that to is like when I went to an all-white private school, and there was only two black kids, and they hung out together
Well,
because they
No, for
everybody.
sure. I mean, it's
I've
not normal
always
for sure. Go ahead.
I've always thought when analyzing the arcs that I've seen, like it's interesting that the fisherman stuff seems to be such an allegory for like African American stuff in what I've seen, when I don't think that really, to my knowledge, Japan is a very like you are Japanese, and if you're not, you're a Gaijin. So I don't know where the inspiration for that stuff's come from.
Yeah, it's very
But it's
American.
interesting that it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing is I think that there is, of course, I think we talked about this before, but there's this really strong sharing back and forth of culture between Japan and America, where you got like
Yeah.
the shit in America with body horror and all this other shit that then led over to some of the like cyberpunk shit, which led to anime, which led to us having even further other like types of animations and our own type of anime. So like I think one of the big things probably is some inspiration from like either other cultures, because yeah, Japan, unless he like lived in Tokyo, and even so, you're gonna have to look hard for like non-Japanese people,
Yeah.
because it's just such a homogenous country.
Mhm.
So for the
Mm.
most part, I know now it's a little different. Now, if you like, it's still hard to get into, but if you like do the proper things, like they're not just gonna like say fuck off
But
to
it's
everybody.
still very
now,
much
but-
like in America there's like there's oppression onto African Americans, whereas in Japan, if you're not Japanese, you're just generically an outsider. So it's not like really a targeted thing at like Fishman. It's just generically if you're not Japanese, you're
yeah.
different, which is interesting. The only other thing I'll say, which isn't really a spoiler now because the live action's done it, I think the hot take is I like the Garb stuff. I
Okay.
know a lot of people fucking hate the Garb stuff. My only gripe was I'm pretty far in now. I'm like a tenth through the show, which isn't a lot, but it's a lot of episodes. And they've introduced Garb. Like in the live action, he shouldn't be there yet, but they introduced him where I'm up to. But they hadn't revealed that he was Luffy's related to Luffy yet. So the live action
Okay.
spoiled that for me, and I was like, that's kind of annoying. But I like what they've done with his character. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's necessary for the live action, otherwise there's not really a big through line across all the arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know why
actor
people hate
portrays
on it
him
so
really
much.
well. Because I like the fact that Garp has this almost like father-son connection with Kobe too. And then there's the other dude who's the son or whatever of the dude with the iron hand or whatever. But there's that connection too that developed. They have
Yeah.
this, like a brother relationship, and yeah, I like the character, like the evolution of all the characters over the course of time. I honestly thought at some point Buggy was gonna get fucking annoying. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna put up with this, but I like the character. And then when he gets his whole body back at the end, and then you got the contract out for Luffy at the end, and then I started to ask myself, is it possible that because Shanks is a pirate, he might actually break Luffy's heart and try to go after him for that money? And he might try, there's
That'd be an interesting backstab arc. I could see that. And then he'd have to like confront him, and
then you see Mihawk join up with Shanks at the end, almost like, and there's gonna be that final battle between Mihawk and Zoro at some point, which I fucking can't wait to see.
So lit.
But yeah, everything was great.
What I find interesting is how much of a build-up it must be. Like, I'm trying to get caught up because I've seen, like, in recent ads, I've seen Buggy looking like a badass, but other than the first arc he's in the anime, he doesn't come back where I'm up to yet. But he clearly comes back 1,000 episodes in. And I also saw, like, in a recent, like, teaser or something, they had Kuro come back, because he doesn't really die or anything, he just kind of gets defeated.
Okay.
So I guess he spends like 18 years planning his comeback, and then comes back in like episode 1000, which is just crazy amounts of setup.
The amount of thought that has to go to bring people back. Although, I mean, I guess the thing too is Oda was just willing to do like a bunch of setup in like arcs.
Yeah.
So that way it was setting up the arc, but then it would also set up future arcs, and then it just kind of all wove into itself. And now I'm sure Oda's kind of at the point where he can literally just like flip back and just be like, random page. Okay, this character's coming back, guys. This is gonna work. And most of the time it works because like he built like a really thorough, complex world that's pretty in depth.
Yeah, like the stuff in the live action that they're showing set up for that I haven't gotten to, like Kobe and Helmeppo wanting to become like great pirates and swordsmen. I'm like, well, clearly in the anime later, they're going to be, like foils for Luffy and Zoro, and like Buggy clearly becomes like a massive character later on. So I assume all of that stuff isn't finished. I don't think Shanks has done anything. I don't think the big swordsman, the French guy,
Mihawk?
I don't think it's for Zoro. Yeah, but I assume soon that's going to happen.
The thing is, I read somewhere, and this is where I said, fuck you, is Oda said something in an interview where they were like, oh, hey, like, how many more episodes of One Piece could you see doing? And he's like, oh, we're just getting into the main arc. The first 1,000 some odd episodes was all just set up. Now the main story begins, which if that is set up, that means we're going to get a 2,000 episode main story, and so in about 200 years we'll see the fight between Zoro and Mihawk.
I think it's wrapping down because the current saga is the final saga, but it's probably still going to take like 2 years to finish this one saga.
But didn't he say he was continuing after that? That's what I thought I read. This was winding down just to start another main like arc with the whole new like name and shit and branding. That's what I thought I had read.
I haven't been too spoiled, but from what I know of like this amount of stuff has to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close towards ending. Like there's not. Like, a lot of the stuff that I haven't seen get set up has been finished, but I know there's still, like, Mihawk and Shanks and that sort of stuff to finish off. But, yeah, I can't imagine. I think he said at one point, like, because you want to finish it before you fucking croak, so...
Well, yeah.
I assume he's going to try and close it down in the next couple of years.
Guy.
I was going to say, like, Sanji, he kind of feels like Brock from Pokemon. Where he's trying to flirt with all the women and just trying to pick her up. It's just like, him and Zoro's like chemistry together, especially during the fight scene, was absolutely incredible. I absolutely love when they're on the screen together. But yeah, all of the characters are good.
I never liked Sanji in the anime, but the live action actor really sold me. Like he's very good. He makes it a lot less annoying of a character.
Yeah, I feel like, especially when you give that good of a backstory, where you basically have Sanji and Zeph on an island dying, and then he basically sacrifices his leg to make sure that Sanji survives. And I think that's why the moment that he was leaving, like, hit me so hard, because like
the crazy stuff that I realized where I'm up to, which is pretty much all I've seen, is the stuff in the live action, basically. Like, all of the backstories aren't fully complete. Like, we've seen Luffy's childhood, but we don't know about his parents, and we've seen, like, Zoro training, but how did he get orphaned on this island? Or, like, Nami, we know she's an orphan, but, like, what about her parents? Like, they could easily, in another, like, couple seasons or something, be like, oh, now we're going to show you Nami's, like, even further backstory that's even more tragic, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, when she that actress who plays Nami is very good at portraying. Like, it's weird because, like, all of them just like embody those characters. Like, they bring them to life.
So much.
Yeah, they're
super lucky that they found people that look similar, because it seems like they were casting specifically people that have watched the entire anime. Because as far as I've seen, they're very caught up on everything. Which is what you want.
Well, yeah, you don't want it, like, to be like an idiot director and say, we're too passionate about this project and what we're doing here, and then fire their ass, like Henry Cavill got fired from The Witcher.
Yep. Yeah, how dare you tell us that we're ruining The Witcher?
Yeah. Hey, I think this isn't sticking to the games or the book series that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Go fuck yourself, Henry.
Base fucking Cavill. That's what I'm saying.
And then she just screams out, "Sexist!" Like, like what?
Yeah. Well, anybody got any other comments?
A 10 out of 10 first season.
Yeah, it's a great. I would definitely give it a 4 out of 4 as well. It's really good.
I'm fucking amazed they haven't announced a second season yet.
I think it's just because of the writer's strike, because they know they can't start producing it yet.
Yeah,
so.
you don't want
they've
give this over.
They've written season 2 as well.
Okay.
They can't shoot it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they could definitely do some stuff.
I mean, I imagine they were writing it after the first.
Yeah, I'm worried that they're not gonna have a second season. Like, I'm trying not to get super committed to it, because I'm, like, concerned that they're just gonna...
I mean, unless Netflix is absolutely inept at making decisions, they know the numbers. Like, One Piece has been a huge success for them. So, it's similar to, like, even The Witcher got 3 seasons.
And it's really only kicking off. Like, I know when you guys were watching, I said Allen Park. I haven't even caught up fully to, like... I know people say Wano, which is the arc at 1,000 episodes, is the best, but there's an arc that they should cover next season, which will be like 6 or 7 episodes long, called Alabasta, which is like a political intrigue, like government versus government. Like, it's very fucking Game of Thronesy with like a lot of heavy themes. And that arc was when I was like, holy shit, this anime is like not just like really good, this is like the fucking best written thing. That's also the arc when I like stopped watching because I was getting way too fucking addicted. I was like, there's like another 800 episodes. I need to stop.
Yeah, you get in that mindset where just one more, and then it's like, oh, you gotta get no, it's just one more. Yeah, it's like the sun comes up, you're like, shit. Well, I might as well stay up and watch some more.
Yeah.
So
I've got some more segments as well, if we want to do that, or we can look at news.
So real quick, couple news things. Apparently Chris Pine directed a film, and it's got 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. So shout out! It's just released at a film festival. Also, I found our film festival. It's Sonoma International Film Festival, I guess, is the one closest to us that is relatively easy to get to. And
Jules played there.
But like Jules played there, for example, I guess in March. But ours, it's gonna be in March. So in 2024, we're gonna try to go.
Does Chris Pine just have like a gluttony for punishment? Because it seems
he went from
he's got a fetish for it, because he did Dungeons and Dragons, which is highly praised. It's an amazing movie.
That's what this article is saying.
And then he's like, "Fuck it, I need to ruin my career again."
But like, does it even say a pool cleaner in Los Angeles?
Wait, Danny DeVito's in it.
that's
I
what
don't
just
know.
said. Danny DeVito got it. What, dude? Just because Danny DeVito is in
Well, I
something, does
know
that
Jennifer
make it-
Jason Lee. What I know
Oh yeah,
that.
no, she's from Existence and like
Okay,
all the Cronenberg
yeah, she's
stuff,
good.
Delirious Claiborne, and yeah, I like her. A pool
Ray
cleaner.
Wise sounds familiar.
A pool cleaner in Los Angeles uncovers a sizable water heist, one in the same vein as Oh no. It's one of those fucking Chinatown stoner remakes.
Oh yeah, I know this guy,
I
Ray
hate these
Wise.
movies. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it before, yeah.
Um,
So there's that, and that I'm excited to watch that terrible film and see exactly how that flops. Apparently Disney is going to be giving doing a Werewolf by Night color edition, which is
October
What?
13th,
yeah,
I think it
which
drops or
is so
something like that.
fucking stupid, dude. I don't like that was one of the main like aesthetic elements of it was that it was in black and white. And now they're like, "Yo, let's throw that entirely out." just
That's
so we can
I only
re-release it.
think that's because of the writer's strike. They're like, we can do this really quick and color it, and then just put it out as new content.
Well, they didn't even need to color it. They just needed to go back to the like regular tapes because they would usually wash the color out in order to get it black and white. Like they usually shoot it in
Yeah.
color and then they'll like make it black and white.
Well, I've seen coverage that, which makes sense, but I didn't think about it. Like Netflix and Amazon are very much benefiting from the strike because they can still do stuff, whereas Disney and Warner Brothers and stuff are going to suffer as we get into like next year. So hopefully they start to crack under the pressure because they can't make anything new and they don't have much of a backlog, whereas Netflix can just fucking churn out Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp and that
That's
gets
true.
to #1.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how that got to #1, but I guess.
And again, I mean, I think there was Drew Barrymore is coming back, and with her
what
show,
the fuck?
and it was announced today real time with Bill Maher, which is no surprise that he's coming back without his writers as well.
Yeah, fuck that. piece of shit.
But yeah, it's these scabs are just coming out of the woodwork because they're just so fucking desperate. And I feel like there's probably people in their ear telling them, hey, if you come out, you'll be even more popular because you're going to be one of the only ones doing this. It's just like, well, Drew Barrymore should never be able to work in Hollywood again. Because at that point, she's basically told the writers and the actors to go fuck themselves. And I don't know who would go on that show to promote anything because then you're part of the issue too. And I think you should be
Yeah, well-
blacklisted as well.
It's a very weird situation because like nothing in Europe or like the UK and stuff is like they have like anti-fucking strike laws. Like they're still shooting House of Dragon and shit because they're like, well, if America strikes, you guys can't strike. So they can still do talk shows in the UK and like I mean Australian talk shows are still a thing. So I don't know. It's tough. It really just fucked the studios, man.
Warner Brothers
it's like-
isn't filming Harry Potter, the series, even though it's in the UK. They got British actors. And...
I think they're filming it in America.
Okay, that'd be weird because I know the movies were filmed in the UK, and I can't remember where
Yeah.
else, but I know it was in
Well,
America.
I think because they're doing House of Dragon plus 3 other live action Game of Thrones shows, they might not have studio space in the UK.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm not sure though. Maybe they're probably going to cast Americans and they'll probably cast Asian and African Americans in random roles for no reason because, it'll be an
Yeah,
interesting one.
I mean, if they have an American accent, it's not Harry Potter anymore. It's something else.
Yeah, no, it's.
I don't
not,
think-
Yeah.
It's
I don't think
Keith
it's gonna
Potter.
be
It's
Harry
Keith.
Potter anymore.
Keith Potter. That's yeah.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
just
yeah.
Fur Clayman. Yeah. So and then the other only two little pieces I wanted to talk about was apparently there is a remake of The Crow.
Yes,
don't know if
I
you talked about
fucking
that.
know about this, and
Oh.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I
that I'm
can't remember.
thinking.
It's a good actor that's taking the role.
Let
I
me
think
see
it might
if
be
it's,
Skarsgård. Bill
Skarsgård. Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is playing the listen, I love Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
But Brandon Lee literally died on the set, and he was the embodiment of that character, and nobody should be able to touch it. But of course, Hollywood has no fucking ideas, so they got to ruin everything.
Is calling it an anti-Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's going to be bad. I know it's going to be bad.
That's how you make a good movie, is by being anti another
like,
type of
have you
movie.
seen The Crow?
No.
Peter, have you seen The Crow? Okay, you both should definitely watch it. Like, we definitely should watch it for sure. Like, because that movie, to me, I've seen it probably like 7 or 8 times. It's one of my favorite films.
Or what is it?
So basically, the premise, like, this happens at the beginning, so I'm not really spoiling anything. But basically, Brandon Lee and his girlfriend get kind of, their door gets busted into, and she winds up dead, and then he winds up dead, but he winds up in between the worlds, and then he becomes essentially the Crow. So he is dead. He can't die.
Okay, so he's like a superhero.
Yeah, and he's basically almost like a Grim Reaper type character.
That's pretty cool.
And he's coming for all the bad guys and all that stuff.
Like the Punisher, except he's like the Grim Reaper.
And the action is so good. The practical effects are amazing. The lighting is incredible. Makeup, everything.
That's the only reason I know of it.
Yeah, it was basically similar to the Alec Baldwin situation.
No, yeah, they left a fucking blank in the gun, and then he like shot it.
Now there was conspiracies that the Chinese did it.
No, yeah, I doubt it.
Because basically they wanted Bruce Lee dead. And they killed Bruce Lee because he wasn't supposed to teach the Americans
conspiracy alert.
kung fu.
Conspiracy alert.
I'm just telling you what. I'm not saying I believe it.
YouTube has put a little clarifier above our video now that says that there is no proof that Brandon Lee was killed.
I'm not
by
saying
the
I
Chinese
believe
mafia. I mean, I just say now there's a Wikipedia link below us. That's fine. I was just putting it out there.
Yeah, but I mean, this was just I thought it was stupid when I heard the conspiracy, like probably 10 years ago.
That's why we need to recite it right now.
I was like, why would you say that? It's so stupid, you know? But
yeah, I agree.
Why wouldn't they kill Jackie Chan then?
And Aquaman. That's the last little piece that I had there. Aquaman, the trailer came out.
I thought you were saying, why did they kill Aquaman? He's Chinese as well.
Yeah, I thought he was saying Aquaman's Chinese. I didn't know Jason Momoa is Chinese. I mean, that is crazy.
He's Native Islander. So...
I saw there was that massive controversy that Tim replied to about, like, I can't believe they reused a shot from Aquaman 1 in the Aquaman 2 trailer.
Did they?
There was
Oh,
I saw Tim replying to some guy like, "You're a fucking idiot. That's how teaser trailers work."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If it's a teaser, yeah. Oh, for the first little teaser, right? Well, because now they have the full 2-minute, 30-second.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's
So there was
only 2 seconds.
Is Amber Heard in it?
2 seconds.
Literally, not even 2 seconds. Like 2 frames.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like
the people in the marketing room are like, no, we're gonna
cut her entirely.
I mean,
literally one spot where
she's gonna die like right
underwater.
away in the movie.
Well, she literally punches glass underwater, and that is like literally it shows her fist moving towards the glass, and then it cuts. Like it's literally such a fast little flash. I tried to pause on it, and I couldn't even do it successfully.
There was a comment on Twitter/X where the person's like, just Twitter. Basically, there was this person saying, I don't know why. Basically, they won't market Amber Heard in Aquaman, but Disney's perfectly fine with Jonathan Majors. First of all, they're 2 different studios. Second of all, Jonathan Majors, basically the cases are still open. And nothing is closed.
It's really simple. It's really simple. Ignoring literally everything anyone's ever done, Warner Brothers cut Johnny Depp from Harry Potter and stopped marketing him, whereas they've kept Amber Heard. It's literally just a sexist thing because they went to trial. No one's really like which side's actually correct, and nobody really can say. People still are fucking arguing about it. So if you cut one, you should cut the other.
They reduced her role dramatically, and I know a lot of the scenes she was cut.
So there was like shit from behind the scenes that she had like contractual obligations, which I think even came out in the thing that like she couldn't be fully removed from Aquaman.
After this, she's done.
She was contractually obligated to be in.
So they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice, but that's why they cut her down to literally like, hey, she's in here for like I think 4 minutes. I think that's what they said is like the official runtime. And so obviously they cut her down because that's the main thing is every time I saw anything about that movie, shorts, trailer, the teaser bits, whatever, everybody in the comments would just be like, Amber Heard's in it, Amber Heard's in it, Amber Heard's in it. I'm not going to watch it. And it's like, to a degree, like, that's kind of...
It's not fair, the rest of the actors and all the people that have worked on that film because of a dumb bitch that fucking
also,
did that.
But people are so fucking, like, parasocial. Like,
well, yeah.
You don't know this bitch. You don't know Johnny Depp. They probably both, like, she probably did blow off his chest while she slapped him, and he slapped her sister.
I believe they both were. I believe
Those
they're both
things are
abusive to
both
each other.
true.
Yeah.
I think they're both horrible. They can go away. I don't care. I don't care. Johnny Depp's gone. I personally don't. He's overrated. His daughter's a far better actor.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she did The Idol, so she should be canceled for that. But Amber Heard, she's actually. I'll say she's a good actress because
That's a lie.
I personally think she's a good actress.
Very convincing in the court case.
Yeah, exactly. She knows how to cry on cue. She knows how to betray emotions very well.
When I left the first Aquaman, I literally was like, that bitch in the red hair was so bad. Like, with the worst part of the movie. I had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
I just knew that, like, she.
Yeah, removing the
could
joke,
not act.
she is pretty rough. I even remember watching some of the fucking court days, and I mean, look. I'm not saying anything, but sometimes when she gets up on the stand and is like, this is a really emotional story, it just sounds so
Dude, well, that's the problem because she tried to play it up in the emotional way where Johnny Depp tried to play it off as charming. And that's why people gave Johnny Depp the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, because Johnny Depp tried to say, no, I didn't do cocaine. Bro, you did cocaine. We all know Johnny Depp has done cocaine.
No, to be fair, right? Like, if you put Taylor Swift in that position and she's crying and doing, like, in Amber Heard's role and she's crying on there's going to be riots to go after Johnny Depp, no matter how charming the man is. It's just true. Amber Heard is extremely unlikable as a person, so when she goes on trial, it's very easy that she's bullshitting her way on this.
Well, yeah, and she's just not that good at, like, doing the emotional thing. Like, it was very clear that she was, like, trying to. That's why people said, "Oh, she was doing cocaine." Like they
both were doing cocaine.
No. But they tried to say she was doing cocaine on the stand. And literally, what I think it was is she was probably doing like some smelling salts or something like that try to make you like cry, or she was like putting literally like tears or something up like on her eyes. Like that's what it seemed like.
Like I'm not commenting on who's right or who's wrong either, because I mean, it would be hard even if she was completely in the right to cry again on the stand after you've been through this like 20 fucking times. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, like, people have such a beef with Amber Heard when it's like, yeah, you don't really know. And that's the thing is, like, I can understand if people are like, oh, I don't care for Amber Heard.
First thing I saw her in was Pineapple Express.
Sure. Or if you're like, oh, hey, I don't believe her, that's one thing. But to say, like, fuck that bitch, if she's in a second of this movie, I won't watch her. Like, that feels sexist.
No, that's just like a real strong hatred towards this one person.
But that's, like, crazy.
Yeah, and you don't know him.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
Yeah.
I will kind of fuck myself that I haven't followed a lot of it, so I don't have a strong opinion on a lot, but I really dislike the quote that she had where she was like, you tell them that you got abused, you a man. I just didn't that rubbed me very much the wrong way.
Yeah, women abuse men all the time.
No, 100%. Well, that's the thing that women especially use too. The main thing that I was saying is that, like, for the most part, like, in those relationships, 99% of the time, especially when you have two people with a lot of power and a lot of money, what's going to happen is they're going to have, like, disputes, they're going to have spats, and they're both super attractive people, so they're going to want to fuck a lot, and so they'll go from fighting to fucking to doing drugs together to back to fighting.
And you never allow those people to move in with you.
It's and 100%, and they moved in together really quickly. He was gonna marry her right away. Like, those relationships are always toxic. Like, they are never good relationships.
Well, that's the stupid thing about it all. Like, when you sit there and you're like, oh, I really passionately love this person. It's like, you don't even know him really.
Yeah, you met this bitch like 3 months ago, and she's
then
living in your house.
and then when you're sitting in that position where she might be abusive. It's like, it's my fucking house, right? Like, that's their mindset, and they're like, I'm not leaving my goddamn house. Even though you should just leave that situation.
Oh, yeah, no, there is, especially, like, for a man, it's like, no, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. Like, there's a lot of men that get that kind of, like, mindset. But especially with Johnny Depp, he has, like, 10 houses. Fucking
Oh,
go to
yeah,
the house.
yep.
Call the cops. Tell them that the bitch is squatting.
There
Get
was
her ass
one
out of there.
near us, I think, right?
For what?
Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
Johnny Depp had a house literally in my town. It was. It's very weird up in the hills areas.
It's
but-
beautiful homes.
Yeah, very beautiful. Anyway, but yeah, like that was the thing that I did notice went away with this new Aquaman trailer. Is this new Aquaman trailer really shows off Patrick Wilson as the brother of Aquaman? It
No
seems.
Willem Dafoe. That's sad. Though.
No Willem Dafoe. And I was also sad
I
about
believe
that.
Patrick Wilson had time to star in a film while directing
Yeah,
The
and say
Red
a third
Door
yeah.
and singing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, like the Red Door is such a terrible film.
So
he probably
bad.
phoned it in for the most
I
part,
think
anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that works. I could see it with your phone, right now. Yep,
Yeah, we're good to go.
That's a
Yep,
good
yep.
shot, and he hangs up.
Yeah, I think that like this one, especially though, like you get to see a bit more of the landscapes that we're working with, which I think they look good. I think that the underwater stuff still looks, a little janky at times, but it looks better than
CGI,
the
yeah.
first one. I think that the CGI for the the big black tower with the green lights, I actually really like that. I like how that looks. The sea monster that like he fights and he like sticks a spear through is a bit dark, but for the most part, I like how that looks. So like there are parts of it that I like.
I think even the forest was CGI, which is crazy though.
There are some parts that I think that you don't need to have it be
Like the whole
CGI.
fucking thing is a green screen.
Sure, it doesn't bother me unless it's like an overusage. So, for example, when it comes to like the jungle area, like that giant Roman statue, you're gonna have the CGI. But like obviously, you could have just.
They
had
used to
when they're
build that
walking
shit
along.
back. Well, they used to do tricks with the camera to make it look a lot bigger.
Yeah. So, but that looks like dog shit.
I don't know.
Every schlocky movie from the 80s looks like straight dog shit. Just because it's practical doesn't make it look any better. It looks super fake, looks terrible. Claymation and especially stop motion, while
Yeah.
I respect how much time it takes, it looks disgusting. It looks way worse than any CGI I've ever seen, especially when it comes to monsters and shit. Claymation looks fucking horrible. And that's all they used to have. So, like, I think for the most part, like, when they're just walking through the forest...
I just prefer that over CGI.
If it looks, but it looks worse. So
Because
I
the
think that
CGI
most
looks
people-
bad.
But that looks worse. What you're suggesting, like, what, stop motion? You want them to put, like, a little clay
No, I
model?
see.
No, not like that.
Well,
No.
that's what you say, make a model and then make it look
No,
bigger.
like, but they don't even make like the
That's like
animatronics
papier-mâché.
anymore. They don't even do the animatronics
Yeah, I know,
anymore.
'cause a lot of them
it's so
look terrible. The only ones that look good are, like,
I
Spielberg's.
disagree.
So, name one other than the T-Rex.
Like even the Terror Vision like movie, I thought those were pretty decent looking animatronics.
You are insane.
No.
They look so fake.
What
What are you talking about?
No, they look
the
really good.
only one that looks real is the T-Rex from Spielberg, and I 1,000,000,000% stand by that. It is the best one that has ever been made. It's the only reason I have a modicum of respect for Jurassic
Jaws.
Park. No, even Jaws, it didn't look that great when you pull it out of the water. It only looked good if you keep it halfway in. So, no, again, these things don't look that great.
I
CGA
just like-
does
yeah.
usually
Yeah.
look better.
The forest does look very weird, but that might be. They might still be doing post on that, to be fair, because it is.
When's
Yeah,
it
when they
come
were
out?
just
It
walking
comes
I'm
out
glad
in
the
the forest, they
December.
should.
I think December 16th. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
glad the water looks good. Fucking, I could not stand the Little Mermaid's like underwater stuff. Like
Oh no,
Avatar
The
2
realism
rules.
too.
Avatar was
Yeah.
so incredible with the
Yeah,
water
yeah,
scenes.
and especially with the hyper realism of the fish in Little Mermaid, it just looked so gross.
Yep.
I fucking hated that.
I think
shit.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that James Cameron had like an Olympic-sized swimming pool to film in when he did Avatar
Yeah.
2. But he
Oh,
used
Yeah,
real
everybody
water.
had to learn to breathe underwater.
Yeah, which listen, that's
Drink the
crazy
Minecraft
to
potions.
sit there and ask your actors, but they know what they're signing up for. But it's still like
Yeah, like Kate Winslet broke some record or something. I think she had the longest underwater take or
That's
something.
crazy. That's
Damn.
pretty
Did like
cool.
4
Wow.
minutes of holding her breath.
holy
shit.
shit, that's crazy.
Dude, I died.
Wait, is she in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah, she should be. That's like
That's a long
crazy
fucking
time.
I
time.
think
Is she
David
brain
Blaine had
damaged?
like 28 minutes or something.
no, yeah, the longest time, but like they should do one for the longest movie shot underwater.
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
would actually be pretty cool. But because
Tom
yeah,
Cruise
the
is
longest
probably up
20.
there.
I would guess there are a few different ones that are like some pretty crazy. Like
There was
one
one
of, like, the biggest
Pierce
explosion
Brosnan in
or
one
something
of the
that'd be
James
cool. I'm
Bond
curious.
films. He had to hold his head under the water for a long ass time.
Yeah, well, there have been some like Navy SEAL type movies too, where they have to like do underwater scenes and shit, or like when they have to learn how to dive with.
Well, they
suits
go
on.
into like real for those type of films. I'm pretty sure they go into like marine like training.
Yeah, they do. No, they do. They have to. Yeah. 'Cause
Like
you
in
have to learn how
astronaut
to
films,
stop
is the
your-
same thing. They go through the astronaut training.
You get that. You get oxygen, like not deprivation, but like where all the oxygen and like pressure goes to your head, and you can get like psychosis and shit. And so like they have to literally go in for training on that.
What
type
if
of
you made a
stuff, but they
movie
go
where
deep.
that like they were filming something and then it was an accident, the person actually got psychosis, and he went.
Oh, that would, I think actually didn't we write a story about that with Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson? I think we
I
did.
think we might have,
I'm pretty sure we wrote a Cthulhu movie like that. Anyway.
Yeah, It just came back to me that I just.
But yeah, no, I think that like definitely the underwater shit though looks better than Little Mermaid, and it looks better than the first one. It still looks a little like I think the biggest thing that looks janky underwater is the lighting for some reason, especially like Patrick.
It's really dark.
Yeah, like Patrick Wilson's face though, for example, when it's underwater, looks very bright and illuminated, like he's very pale almost. But then the water around him is a bit darker, so it does look a little weird.
An interesting thing that I've noticed that happens in gaming a lot, and now it's happening in VFX, is Weta trademarked a lot of their water tech for Avatar 2. So studios can't copy or like pay to license that shit. They just have to like either use Weta or make their own thing. Which, I mean, games do that like fucking so annoyingly. Like, I'm sure you guys saw like Zelda fucking trademarked that thing where you like pick up an object and move it.
Did
like,
they?
the fuck?
In your inventory?
Well,
no, Resident Evil started that.
No, the one where you like hover objects and then like, yeah.
You know,
I don't know how they
did
did it.
I don't know. I'd have to look.
I wonder
what
Judge would allow that, because there's a lot of other games that have done very similar things.
So there's two things here. Is you have copyright, which is where like you make a certain IP or you make a certain addition to an IP, and you have the rights to that thing and the profiting off that thing. Then there's trademarking. Trademarking is where you have like a business.
It might be the other one.
Well, trademarking is where you have a business, and then that business has some sort of like thing that is like patented for its like either the way their games are made or the other thing. So like they could do like, oh, this specific code for this way to do this, they could block. But I'm curious. I'll have to look into that because they can block doing that.
James Cameron's like you said, it was called Wetter.
Weta effects.
Okay, so
they're in New Zealand.
Why wouldn't they license that? I feel like there's a lot of people that would love that.
It's a great fucking question. I
mean,
mean,
wouldn't you make money off of that too?
It annoys me a shit ton because Weta started for Lord of the Rings by using like the massive game engine to do the crowd sims and stuff. So they've literally started with licensing to get visual effects done, and now they're like trademarking their visual effects so other people can't do it. I get that they put years into making these water sims, but you should just license it out for a massive fee. If you
Unreal Engine,
fucking money.
No, that's what I was saying. So I love, dude. Unreal
Not
Engine,
Unity apparently now, but
Unity. Well, even Unity, no, because actually Unity in some ways has this change is kind of similar to something that Unreal already has. Unreal doesn't charge a subscription fee up front though, which I'm pretty sure Unity. I thought they charged like some sort of fee.
I'm pretty sure.
But Unity's just like Warner Brothers. Like the CEO is a dickhead. Like he wanted to. Back in the day, he petitioned, fucking what company was he at? EA or something. He wanted the new Battlefield game to launch with a subscription service where you would pay in multiplayer every time you reloaded your gun.
That's like, oh, the guy that wanted to sell bullets. Yeah, I've heard this.
What?
That shit's so crazy. Dude, that guy is psychotic, and fuck that guy.
And they're like, let's put him in charge of Unity.
Yeah, no, dude, I think that's like the thing too with Unreal Engine is like Unreal Engine has the craziest effects right now when it comes to water
visually
effects.
It's the best
or
looking.
like they used to have it where if you had like an explosion, like you want to make a nuclear explosion, you couldn't put lighting on it. Like you could only have it. It's like a flat 2D model. But now with their explosions, they literally have it like full volumetric explosions.
Modern Warfare, when the nuke goes, did Modern Warfare use Unity or did it use like Unreal?
Unity, didn't it?
Because when I think about that nuclear bomb that goes off in the first Modern Warfare game, when you're on the plane, you see the whole thing explode.
I thought it was Unity. I might be wrong.
Okay.
But I thought it was Unity. But like this is the thing I love about the game like engines though is you're able to utilize them for like anything you want, and then it's just like,
well,
hey,
and then
if you
it's
make a good
marketing
amount
for
of
them
money-
because when you start a game, you
Yeah.
can't skip the opening like, hey, this is made by Unreal Engine and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they literally advertise as, oh, Unreal Engine is
well,
on
and
everything.
Unreal
now.
is like if you make $1 million or like more, then they do rev share, where it's like, oh, we get like a 5% split.
Oh, they have something called the IW game engine for Call of Duty.
Okay. Infinity War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
there
is
was
right.
Infinity
Ward.
Infinity Award. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's
Infinity
the symbol
Ward.
I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the Unreal Engine 5 shit definitely is quite crazy. I can't remember how we jumped over there, but the effects bit. Yeah, like there is a lot of crazy shit that you can do in Unreal 5, and also now you have all of this procedural generation via AI in Unreal Engine, and it makes it so much more accessible for like 1 or 2 people to create a game than like ever before.
That's what that's the one thing it won't happen because the stupid game developers suck. But like when it comes to sports games, I always wanted the ability, especially with the WWE games, where the crowd was just AI generated, and it was different crowd depending on the city. Like it modeled them after what some people of that city might have like currently look like or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they come out with signs and the AI works with the game
Well,
engine.
you
So
could just have a set of pre-made signs where it's like you could have 200 pre-made signs that are randomized and generated throughout the game, or like, you know, different character models and all that. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you have Drewski in the new NBA 2K.
That's why.
He's like a character in the story.
Dude, Drewski is everywhere.
Yeah, I love Drew. Who doesn't love Drewski?
I mean, listen, everybody loves Drewski, but goddamn, the man is inescapable. Yeah, so I'm excited for Aquaman 2. I think
It looks good.
I think that they did something interesting by bringing the villain back. I mean, not a lot of them do bring the villain back.
I love that. Yeah, Mantis.
Yeah, the Black Mantis.
Mantis. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
that actor is really good.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very like also like the fact that he like fought Aquaman to begin with, and he just wasn't powerful.
There's still a
enough yet, so he
connection,
left
and that
got stronger and
carries
came back.
over into a sequel. It's
Yeah.
only going to build up that
sure.
rivalry once it comes to the climax at
Well,
the
and
end.
also there's still that whole father bond thing. Like now he has his own kid. Is what was revealed was Aquaman has a child now.
With Mira.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine.
It's
not the baby's fault. The mother was a bitch.
Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong. But basically,
But is Aquaman supposed to continue?
Yeah.
And James Gunn's
I'm pretty
world.
sure that that's what's supposed to happen. Is like this is the one thing that he wants
Okay.
to. Yeah, he wants to keep going. So like we have this thing now where it's like, of course, the whole thing of the first movie was he killed the father of Black Mantis, right? So now he himself is a father. So my guess is that Black Mantis is also going to go after his child.
Yeah.
But also his brother is now here. Like there's a lot of interesting shit that we're getting intertwined. So yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a decent entry. I thought Aquaman is like.
I don't like Patrick Wilson personally.
I hate Patrick Wilson. I've already said this before. I don't like Patrick.
Listen, even when I first saw him, and I think Watchmen was the first thing I saw him because Conjuring came after Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
I did not like the way he portrayed Night Owl. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, it did suck.
And yeah, Malin Ackerman is the one. I think it's Silk Spectre. Yeah, she was fantastic. But this weird Patrick Wilson just gives off like this almost like autistic vibe.
He's super
he doesn't
autistic,
care
dude.
about the role he's actually. The only time
he doesn't feel like he takes any of it seriously.
Conjuring 2,
just
like I
kinda
said when he
there.
sings like Elvis, it's a great moment that it's in the film.
That's probably because that's like a thing that he's done since a child.
Conjuring 2 I love.
He's probably
That's the
been in
one
the mirror just
Conjuring
dancing
movie
like
that to
Elvis.
this day I'll defend because I love that film.
That I haven't seen it, so we'll watch it so I can shit on it, and then we'll see what you got.
All right, that's fine. Well, Peter, have you seen Conjuring 2?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Good or
Yeah,
bad?
Conjuring 3 is pretty.
Give it a score, Peter.
Conjuring 2's alright.
There we
okay.
go.
I don't know,
Base,
like
Peter.
a 6.
Okay.
Okay, that's actually pretty decent. Anything above a 5
I feel
out
like-
of 10 jury is pretty like, okay, you're like not bad.
It's interesting with Aquaman 2. I feel like James Wan does good first films. I don't think I've really liked his sequels as much.
First
Except
Conjuring.
I think in
I keep forgetting James Wan.
He did the
that-
first
I
Conjuring,
keep
yeah.
forgetting that he's the. 'cause I
Well,
was
he
like-
did. How many Fast
like-
and Furious films did he do?
Well, he does. He did
Yeah.
Saw 2,
Well-
Insidious 2, Conjuring 2, and then Furious 7, Aquaman 1, and Malignant.
Furious 7 was
that's
the
like
best
good.
one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the best one.
Yeah.
I
mean, he
like...
did get lucky because it was the one where
Yeah, Paul Walker.
Yeah. There's some of them that
But still,
I do like from
the
James
story
Bond,
in
not a lot
there
that
is
I do.
really good.
But
Like,
and
and the send off at the end is
I literally
perfect.
texted Jason and I was like, why the fuck is Patrick Wilson here? And then I looked at and then it said directed by James Wan, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he works with him.
I feel like, because there's a lot of things that Patrick Wilson also produces on the low. I feel like he deliberately produces films just to make sure he has a role in it.
Probably.
Like, he's like,
Like
in
to
order
keep
for
his
me to
career
fund
alive.
this film,
Yeah,
like, you have to put me in this
He is
role.
single-handedly keeping his career afloat. I think that's
Props
the
to
case.
him.
Shout
He's
out.
dedicated, you know?
He's dedicated to keeping his career alive. I can't disrespect that.
But
I feel it.
I still stand by. I love Blue Beetle. And Aquaman 2.
You went for you really like
No,
it?
because
You love it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
the more
We
I
got
think
an
about it,
upgrade
I
here.
love that actor. That kid is so good.
Yeah, he's likable.
The sister is
he's likable.
it fucking sucks, but Jesus,
Jesus, man.
she does.
You're really anti-woman today.
No. I like
say one positive
I
thing
like
about a woman.
no.
Go.
I like Bad Bunny's girlfriend in the film.
Jesus
or
Christ.
ex-girlfriend.
Name a woman.
Name a woman that's not hot.
Name a woman.
Name a woman that's not hot. Go.
Laura Dern is an amazing actress.
Fair. That's it. See, you just had that loaded because we've seen a lot of Laura Dern films.
Helen Mirren?
Lately. Helen Mirren was a beautiful lady when she was younger. How dare you?
Yeah,
How dare you.
like no, Susan Sarandon was hot. So
Yeah,
I love this
exactly.
question to prove that your question to prove that he doesn't hate women is name ugly women. Call them ugly.
yeah, I know, right?
No,
like
I
that,
said
isn't
name
that
a
so
woman that you don't
sexist?
No. I said name a woman that you don't consider hot. Now they could just be considered pretty or beautiful.
Yeah.
But Jason will take whatever's the hottest woman he can think of and compliment them every time, and he really likes the girl.
I love Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, that's fair, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
on average, you just find the hottest bitch in the film. and you're
Kate
like, I like that one.
McKinnon. Kate McKinnon. I absolutely love Kate
That's
McKinnon.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. I was
So-
see, but this is great. Now you're covered for the next 10 podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. Good job.
Knocking shit on the women like I
No,
always
see,
want.
now that you said that, you gotta name one more. God damn it.
Oh shit!
Yep, you're fucked now. All right, Pete, what's the next segment?
Amanda Seyfried.
You don't like Amanda
Who?
Seyfried.
I like her.
don't believe
Amanda
that.
Seyfried in
I don't
Ted
believe that
2.
you like Amanda
She was
Seyfried.
in
I
Mean
still don't
Girls.
believe that. And she was in
She
Mamma
looks like
Mia.
Gollum.
Yeah, she does. She does look like McGollum. That's 100% true.
What?
Yeah, dude, you don't see it? You don't see it.
No, I'm just like.
You
now
can
that I know
Google a
who that is-
comparison picture. There's an I guarantee it
Yeah,
comes
100%.
up. Yeah.
It will come up. A comparison
Yeah,
picture. They look
okay.
exactly alike. Okay. I'm glad that we had this amazing conversation. This has been very insightful.
But yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, but Blue Beetle I absolutely love, and I'm happy that that kid is gonna get the opportunity to try to lead DC into the next decade or whatever it might be.
He's a cool
But
kid.
I also, it makes me want to see Aquaman 2 more, knowing that he's still gonna be part of this universe. Because if he wasn't, it would just be like The Flash, where it's just like, I don't fucking care now. Because
Well,
why
yeah,
should
The
I
Flash
care
is
about
gone
this
now,
movie? But yeah, to me, it's James Gunn didn't make these movies, but I think they set up really good what he potentially could do.
Well, James and James like each other.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, James Wan and James Gunn do like each other.
Okay, and on that note,
Yeah.
what were there any other segments you wanted to cover here, Peter?
Yeah, so I've got some games stuff, and I
Let's do
also had a top 10 list that I made for TikTok that I thought might be interesting, but we can do whatever. can
Let's
just do
start
the
with the.
games
Well, what do you think is longer, the top 10 list we can kind of bust through quickly and then hit the game stuff, or vice versa?
Yeah, we can probably get through the top 10 list pretty quickly.
Okay.
There shouldn't be anything controversial.
Okay.
I just thought it was interesting. I put together like 10 favorites for my TikTok to like just put some videos out. I gave honorable mentions to A Futile and Stupid Gesture, which is a Netflix comedy that I think is fantastic, and The End of the Tour,
Okay.
which are both pretty depressing films overall about like artists that die, based on true stories.
Okay.
Futile and Stupid Gesture, I didn't actually know because I'm not American, is like the guy that did the Animal House and like
okay.
that magazine.
Oh my
But
God! Yeah, I watched a documentary film on him. I don't know if it was on Netflix or something. I
that
can't
might have
think of
been
the
it.
name.
Yeah.
But yeah, the documentary was extremely well. Animal House, you can't watch that in Revenge of the Nerds, especially that one has
Oh, God,
R-word
Revenge
scene
of the
in it
Nerd
that's
is
really
so
fucked
bad.
up. Even when it came out and
Everybody was like, "Oh,
nobody
this is
like
fucked
opposed
up."
it, which like it felt like, which was weird.
I don't know.
Animal House, I think there's some things in there, but it does have John Belushi, who I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was his last
It
film,
was
or after no Blues Brothers was.
Blues Brothers was, yeah.
Doug Kenny, played by Will Forte, was the film, and he did a great job.
Okay.
But my 10th is tied, so it's a bit unfair. But The Last Jedi and Across the Spider-Verse, I just feel like I really hesitate to like give Across the Spider-Verse such a high ranking since it's so recent. But it is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a movie that even if you watch 20 years from now, it's still going to hold up.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully,
just so
yeah.
clean. Yeah, that movie I absolutely love. We have to rewatch it again soon here. But that one I don't see, especially because of just the way, even on like, let's say the story gets old and I feel like it's kind of bland, blah, blah, blah. The way that it does its animation and is so forward thinking on animation kind of sets it in its own lane in of itself. So.
Yeah, and
I
especially
feel like it
if,
could. It's very interesting to see how Beyond does. Like, if Beyond comes out really badly, maybe
Yeah.
I'll like it less because all
Yeah.
the setup doesn't pay off. But
Yeah,
it is
to a
just
degree.
a good film overall.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, if Donald Glover winds up being the Crawler,
Prowler, that'd be
you
lit.
get the
That'd be
Prowler,
so lit.
yeah, then that movie's going to mean even more.
Beast.
So,
Yeah.
But my 9th is Limitless, which is like a very
Okay.
obscure
Bradley
film,
Cooper?
I feel like. Bradley Cooper, yeah.
okay, I like that
Not
film.
many
Oh, I
people know
haven't
about
seen
it.
it.
I love that film. I stumbled on it in like Phuket the one time we went on a family holiday in like a DVD market
Okay.
where they were just selling random shit. And so I was like, buy this DVD. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Robert De Niro, Bradley Cooper. And I just
Okay.
love that film.
It was
It's like a very
give it a watch.
motivational film.
after that film came out, there was a plethora of companies that came out with pills that they were claiming are the Limitless pills. They were all
Yeah.
sitting there hyping up different. Yeah, it was a weird fucking thing. Joe Rogan even advertised one. I think he still does.
The thing I love, like, rewatching is how accurate it is as someone that has like ADHD and stuff. Like, when he takes this pill that makes him like super good at everything, the first thing he does in the film is he cleans up his apartment. And
Yeah.
that's just like, that's exactly what you do.
Yep.
Maybe it was Adderall. Maybe that's what he
No,
took.
it was
Adderall's-
Adderall. 100%.
He just
No,
took Adderall,
100%.
and that's exactly what helped him
Yup.
laser
Dude,
focus
yeah,
on
we have
everything.
ADHD as well. It's that way I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
Like, and I also have like depression as well. So like definitely if I get into my depressive episodes and then it mixes with the ADHD, like I can't do anything or focus on anything.
I've been
for more
seeing
than
the
5
movie
seconds.
in a minute, but don't they come after Bradley Cooper because he got this pill? Like they start to hunt
Yeah,
him
yeah.
down, and he
Everybody
goes on
wants
the
their
run.
hands on it.
Yeah, and it becomes like almost like a film, kind of like Enemy of the State with Will Smith,
Okay.
where he goes on the run, and yeah.
Okay. What was your next one, Peter?
Yeah, my next one is Nightcrawler, which we've talked about.
Fantastic
Yep,
film.
banger.
Absolute banger.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's
Jake
amazing.
Gyllenhaal's great
Jake
in that.
Gyllenhaal's super underrated a lot of the times. He is
And the
very,
makeup,
very
the
good.
makeup that they used on Jake Gyllenhaal, the prosthetics for his face and that were really well done. The shots, the lighting. That movie I haven't seen since it probably came out, but it's kind of one of those films that gets burned in your brain after one watch.
Yeah. My next film is Zodiac, which
Another
I
banger.
don't know if you guys have seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, fantastic. Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal again.
Yeah, amazing movie. And also because like I live near San Francisco. The whole Zodiac killer thing is something that, of course, is like the core
Yeah,
lore.
interesting.
Yeah, it's core lore.
I think it's
of
like
living in
3
this
hours,
area.
close to 3 hours.
What for? San
Zodiac
Francisco?
Killer?
Or is, the movie? Yeah,
The movie,
it is,
yeah.
It is 100%. Yeah, it's like.
Do you live in the same? Do you live in the same state with that senator that was accused of being Zodiac killer? Is that?
Ted
Death?
Cruz was
Ted
fakely.
Cruz.
Yeah, no, Ted Cruz is in Texas, so that's a whole weird.
Okay.
Wait,
That's a
people
whole
thought
weird
he
thing.
was the Zodiac?
Yeah, no, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer. Have you seen the drawing? Dude, have you seen the drawing of the Zodiac killer? I'm serious, dude. It looks like Ted Cruz. That's all I'm saying. It looks like Ted Cruz.
I mean, he has a thing for Corey Chase. I can tell you that.
What?
Corey.
I thought he had a trans fetish.
No, he got caught watching the MILF
you're
porn
right.
with
No,
Corey
it
Chase.
was Alex Jones who was watching trans porn. You're right.
Alex. Alex Jones likes that stuff.
Yeah.
But
That's another
Zodiac.
That's another
Killer.
Jim Gyllenhaal one.
The guy who they think is a Zodiac killer at the end is actually this is a show in the 90s called the Drew Carey Show, which I watched all the time. But he played Drew Carey's brother on the show.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on our honeymoon, and I'm madly in love with my wife. Here's to us.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of where he came from.
Yeah, well, the guy that, of course, he, is shown to be the killer in the Zodiac was, the main suspect that they came to believe was a killer in real life.
It was spaced so well. I felt like when I saw it in the movie theater, and I felt like that movie is one of those films that's paced, so well that it never feels boring. It never feels boring, and it never feels that long, which is really good.
I'm really
Fincher?
looking forward to
Who
the
is that?
killer. One of the Fincher.
Yeah, it is.
so.
One of the things I love in that and the girl with the dragon tattoo is he uses
David Cronenberg,
visual
David Fincher,
effects
David
for-
Lynch.
The 3Ds.
The 3Ds of
Holy shit, the 3Ds of directing! Oh my fucking god!
Holy shit!
We figured
it
it
was
out.
all planned
It
from
was
the.
all planned from the start. God, and obviously
Yeah, I
David
love,
Fincher's more up your alley, Peter. So we got the 3Ds.
That's
David
why,
Lynch,
and you know
David
who's not
Cronenberg.
in the 3Ds?
Fincher, perfect.
Christopher Nolan.
That's true. He's not. He doesn't. His name doesn't start with a D.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But
Peter,
this
go
is
ahead.
3 S's. Steven Spielberg's. Yeah, never mind.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Stanley
Steven
Kubrick.
We need
Seagal.
another S. Steven Seagal. Bam.
Wait,
Back to
Steven
back.
Seagal.
Absolutely, he's up there with Spielberg.
15th degree black belt.
Yeah, base.
Yeah, I love the way that he uses CG in those, Zodiac and Dragon Tattoo. A lot of the notes are completely CG. It's just white paper that they add on because during the Zodiac thing, he wanted it to be accurate, so they only put the actual notes on the wall at the end. And then even now, it's so interesting watching it back because so much has changed. I think the guy in the film that they imply is Zodiac has been proven not to be Zodiac by the police department as of
now they
recent.
check the DNA or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I mean, I
is-
love
yeah.
all the little things. The first shot in the film where the guy shoots the guy in the car is four separate plates, and all of the blood is CG. It's just so much effort.
I
for such
didn't
a
know the
simple
blood
shot.
was CG. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, all the blood in Fincher films is CG.
Yeah.
Oh, he
that's-
doesn't use any
Practical
blood
blood.
packs or anything
No.
like that.
Yeah, because they just do so many takes. They just add the
It
blood
would
in
be
later.
cheaper to
Oh.
just do CGI. That's
That's interesting.
actually why a lot of people, even for example, Lynch or even Cronenberg. Cronenberg was talking about how he loves CGI and how he would always start using it as long as it again looks good, because to him he's oh, now I can do 1,000 takes and I don't have to do
But never
his makeup
CGI the
1,000
sex.
times.
That's Cronenberg's motto.
I know because his in Crimes of the Future it's 90% CG.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it is especially with digital cameras, right? That was one of the big differences. Is obviously you have Kubrick or whatever that they'll fund $1 billion towards to let him do as many takes as possible on regular film. But for the average director, you got 2-3 takes at most because you have a standard set of film.
Especially
and
if
that's
with Nolan, if you're using practical explosions and that
you
type
have to
of
pay
stuff.
for it.
Like,
Sometimes you only got one
that
shot.
scene, in the Dark Knight, that
where he
scene
blows
with the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, and he's walking away from the hospital.
Right.
That actually got fucked up.
Yeah,
and it
he
was
dropped
supposed to go off immediately, and then Heath Ledger just played it perfectly. But I can't imagine if he had just yo, what's the fuck is going on? And he messed up the entire scene after that.
Yeah, because they only had one shot. You take down that building, you're done.
Yeah, he just he was the Joker.
Yeah.
He never was
worked.
phased.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you have to have good actors to back that up. But obviously, when you have a lot of like issues, or not issues, but if you have a lot of different ideas in mind too, and you want to do a shot a few different ways, the easiest way to go about it a lot of times is to just be like, okay, we'll either use some CG, like for just blood, or like obviously explosives and all that. It's just easier. But like the forest thing for earlier is like where it's stupid. Like just have them walk through the forest. But anyway, sorry.
The quick example of that I love was like in the Tarantino film where Leo breaks the glass and stuff. And I had to research afterwards. I was like, if he breaks the glass and he's actually bleeding, did he get consent to like
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
His hand on that chick?
Is that the one?
The racist one. The
Django Unchained.
Yeah, and
Django, when he like
slams
smashes that glass
and
like
he crushes. Yeah, his hand starts bleeding. Yep.
Well,
great.
Scorsese, when he filmed Wolf of Wall Street, Jonah Hill really ate the fish.
Yeah,
that was something they actually did, which is insane.
That's become a thing now. In like music videos and other shit, like is eating.
Well, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, I blame him.
He ate a bat. That's a little different.
Like every time he performed, he ate a bat.
He's why we have COVID.
You can do it, Ozzy! Bite his freaking head off! No!
wait, no, you can't say that.
It's true.
Ozzy Osbourne's not responsible for COVID.
Ozzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
COVID,
to continue,
COVID.
Like, now I have my, film nerd shit where it's just Wolf of Wall Street. Makes sense.
Yep.
2001 is fifth, which also makes sense. And then I've got Spotlight, which I just love. Spotlight.
I don't know if I've seen that. What's
the biographical film about the investigation into the priests.
Isn't Mark Ruffalo in that?
I need to see
It's
that.
Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton and can't remember the other chick's name.
Okay.
But it's very good.
Okay. I think I
very much
remember
like that
watching
film.
it, but I was pretty high when I watched it. So.
Okay, so what do we got next?
My third is Midsommar.
Okay,
Midsommar.
Which I
Midsommar's
just love
good.
that film.
Yeah.
My second is Raw. Bumped that way up after I rewatched that.
Okay.
And then my first favorite film is The Social Network.
Okay. Fair.
Which I think is
good
all-
bit of Fincher on there.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah, Social Network is that role of Mark Zuckerberg was perfect for Jesse Eisenberg.
Never seen it.
And then you have
Yeah, you
Andrew
gotta watch it.
Garfield
I've
playing the twins.
I've watched so many bad
Listen,
Jesse Eisenberg films,
tried.
hoping he'll like be good.
Justin Timberlake
I
plays
tried
the
to
dude
watch,
from
like,
Napster.
I tried to watch
Oh,
Inception.
Timberlake is so good.
Yeah,
tried to watch
I love
Inception, for
Timberlake.
example,
Like
because I'm, like,
in
so
what
invested
is it?
in that
Out of
process.
Time or In Time? The one movie where
And,
Yeah.
oh my god, I wish I could remember her name to do with Jason. Oh, what's the chick in that film? The chick at Stanford.
oh, I know you're Olivia. No, is it Olivia, the
What
director?
movie were talking again?
Right? You're talking about his mother.
No.
Olivia
Oh,
Wilde.
that's
Well, In Time, Olivia Wilde and Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah,
were
it is
in it.
Olivia
And Amanda
Wilde, right?
Seyfried
Yeah,
were
yeah,
was
yeah,
in it
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Interesting premise for a movie. I never saw
No,
it.
it
but I
was
like that
yeah, it
idea.
was like almost a
It
weird take on a
is-
Robin Hood idea.
Yeah, like you're taking time back from the.
Dakota Johnson.
Oh,
I love
I
Justin
like
Timberlake
Dakota
just fucks
Johnson.
Dakota
Go for
Johnson
it.
in that film.
What was the one that took place at the hotel that was like in the middle of?
Oh, no, we've talked about this before. It's the El Dorado. It's not
El Royale?
Trouble at the El
Oh,
Royale.
yes,
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's
Yeah,
one of
that's
my
a good
favorite
movie.
movies.
Hemsworth's great in that.
And then they had, but the only thing was Chris Hemsworth fucked that movie up. That's the only thing I didn't like. I hated Chris Hemsworth in that film.
Yeah.
But and then they also had the 50 Shades bitch, which is a little weird.
Well,
Anyway.
that was Dakota Johnson.
Oh, that is who we're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She was also like that was the one fucking bad thing about her career. She did that stupid fucking 50 Shades shit.
I mean, listen, she gave women pleasure, I guess.
but
That's
she's
good for her.
I can't remember who she's the daughter
She's a
of.
girl's girl.
I think she's the daughter of like a famous singer.
Yeah, we talked about this recently. But
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're not gonna remember right now.
Yeah,
So,
I guess not.
yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think that's a fair top 10. I'll have to put together a general top 10. And then like also it'd be fun, like we can always put together like one of us does a top 10 each week, coming for like we can do general top 10s, and then maybe
as
like,
we watch more movies,
top 10s,
we possibly
as we move into
top
new
10.
genres, we can do like that type of shit. Like me
Post
and Jason,
our current top 10s and just changes.
Yeah, like for example, though, me and Jason have gone deep into like noir films, murder mystery films, obviously horror, psychological.
My
films.
favorite, like honestly, if I was gonna like. I love Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but Soul is the one that sticks with me the most.
Dude, Soul is such a fucking... Have you seen Soul, Peter?
I haven't yet. I think I would love to do, next time there's no big content, we should try and do 3x3s of like best moments across everything. Because it would be very interesting to go through like moments that stuck with us from movies, games, TV shows, sport, like whatever the hell, just like influential stuff.
Whiplash. The end of Whiplash is
I'm sorry.
The end of Whiplash is always something. After he gets in the car accident, he literally goes to the fucking thing, and then he finally gets the respect of him. It was like, holy shit.
The Eraserhead sperm crush scene, I'll say that. That doesn't give much away. The Eraserhead baby scene. I'm trying to remember what else. The Mulholland old lady scene. Oh my god, the dog, the guy barking like a dog in Blue Velvet.
What? Oh yeah.
There's a lot of shit.
Baby wants his milk.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Baby wants his milk. And then he starts like suckling, and then he
dude fucking
like
didn't he? There's a scene where he cuts him off on the road, or like a dude cuts him off.
That's Lost Highway. That's Lost Highway.
Oh, okay.
There's this part where basically this guy cuts off.
What was the scene?
And he pulls over to the side and rips the guy out of the car and beats the shit out of him and says, "Don't you ever fucking cut me off again!" and points a gun at his face. It's amazing.
Is Mulholland Drive the one where dude finds his girlfriend with Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yes.
Oh, that is one of my favorite fucking scenes.
I love that. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
God damn. We could probably go on.
The
rabbit scene.
What's
from
the dude's
Inland
name?
Empire.
I can't remember.
Who?
Well, it was Jennifer Aniston's husband. Oh, Justin
Theroux.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Theroux's pretty good. I like him. And
I rewatched actually a movie that I probably might put on my top if I.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Ocean's 11. The sequels, like 12 and 13 are still good to me, but Ocean's 11 is one of like the perfect like combination of like Bernie Mac, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Julia Roberts, like all these people that were incredible. And just this dude gets out of prison, he's like, this fucking asshole put me there, and I'm gonna rob his 3 casinos.
Super base.
Yeah, it's a simple premise, but it's so well done.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's a lot of shit. I think that they'd probably be pretty easy to. I think the main thing is if we're gonna do like moments, we should probably narrow, because like I can think of some that just spontaneously come to mind.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be better to narrow it down to like what type of moments we're going, like most shocking, or like specific like genres of moments and shit like that. But yeah, I'd be down for that. That'd be fun. Like do a top 10 moments list. I think I started a list of like the best scenes in movies, which was just like all the like most over the top kind of cringe fun shit. So,
or like in Social Network when Andrew it was Andrew Garfield, he comes in, he basically Justin Timberlake's like he's jacked in. Oh, he's jacked in, and he fucking smacks fucking
that walk is so fucking good.
And he just breaks down, and it's like
jacked in.
Yeah. Oh my god! In that moment, I was like, "Dude is one of the best."
I'm sorry, my brother's in the cleaners. Oh, with my fuck you flip flops.
Oh, I've seen that scene on TikTok.
I love that movie. It's such a great movie.
Yeah. No,
I
can't say much.
Like, the film's just so good as well, because like when you watch it and like knowing Fincher, how like the fucking cameraman has to walk at the exact pace that Andrew Garfield does.
Yeah.
To have this like perfect fucking shot, it's just ridiculous.
Well, even it opens up where Mark Zuckerberg is just brutally honest with his girlfriend. He just breaks up with her. He's like, we shouldn't be together. I don't think we were. It's like, Jesus Christ. And he does it in such an autistic way where it's no emotion whatsoever.
He knows what he's doing. Good for him.
Yeah. But me and Rocky will. I haven't seen the movie in a minute, so we'll definitely we'll
Well, I
watch
haven't
that film.
seen the social media.
The social network. No, we'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll definitely come up with some moments and scenes for next week. What other? Did you have any other segments, or what was the other segment you wanted? Oh, game stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I might save this one. I had because obviously the writers for our show are also on strike, so I had an
Yeah.
AI write up a game segment for us.
Oh, base.
Nice.
But I'll send. Where did the link go?
What was the thing
I
that you said you
found-
wanted the AI to do? Like something with movies.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and pick random movies, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, can you give me like a random interesting fact about this movie?" Or like do stuff like that, like have a review. Okay.
I spent a long time trying to get the AI. So the game is like, I got the AI to come up with the facts thing, like 2 realistic facts, 1 fake fact for like a bunch of movies.
Oh,
That's
really?
so
Yeah.
fucking
Okay.
tough.
Damn, that's
The
pretty
AI
dope.
was so fucking dumb.
Cool.
So many efforts.
Yeah.
But I found a site. Have you guys seen IMDb races?
No.
No.
So I found a site that's kind of for that, but we can just, if you just pull up IMDb,
Okay.
screen share or something, there's this site that it's got a list of films that are doable. So the idea is you can get from, what is this? For example, like, trying to see films that I recognize from like The Terminator. Why let me click on them for some reason now? Oh, there we go. From Commando to Big Trouble in Little China is one of them here. Well, the one from today is from Dread to Batman Returns. So it's possible to just going through like the cast and the directors and stuff, get from one film to another.
Okay.
Easily, apparently. Like the one today. Oh no, the example that they've got is Deadpool to Pulp Fiction. So you go Ryan Reynolds, Hitman's Bodyguard, Samuel Jackson into Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a bunch of interesting ones here. Like I'm trying to see if there's any. Oh, what is this? There's The Killer to The Shining. That's interesting.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Dread to Batman Returns, try the daily challenge. Let's see. So we go from okay, and so we have to basically get to Batman Returns. We have to either see an actor that was in there, or like an actor,
Or the
can be in
director.
another, or director can have done.
Well,
another
Tim Burton
movie.
did. He did return. So when.
Yeah, but like also if like somebody has been in a movie with another person,
Mhm.
then theoretically maybe that could get you over there.
Do you want to screen share it as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Carl Urban's Judge Dredd though is a good movie. The old one with
I can't remember
Sylvester
who-
Stallone and Rob Schneider is kind of, it's decent. It's a weird like action film, but
Okay, there you go.
I know that the new Judge Dredd is like secretly directed by someone, but I can't remember who it is. But they've become like a renowned director now.
Okay, so who do we want to click on, boys?
It's Dredd to, what was it?
Dread to Batman Returns.
Returns.
Carl Urban?
no, I don't.
Interesting.
Carl Urban associated with it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Wood Harris.
Who the hell is Langley Kirkwood?
I did Lid Harris.
Oh, okay.
Shooting Stars, Creed 3, Gang.
Space. Who's in Space Jam?
LeBron James. Actually, wait, hold on. Is Warner Bros. the
There's a
one that
lot
did
of
Space Jam?
cameos in Space
Oh,
Jam.
Warner
yeah.
Brother. I don't think they made Dredd.
But we're going to Batman Returns.
Yeah, I know they made Batman Returns.
So that means we're going from Dread to Batman Returns. So what if we went Space Jam? I wonder if it'll let us, but it won't let us click over to just Warner Bros. Right?
Studio.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh fuck. So wait, who was in Batman Returns? I don't even remember.
Michael
this movie.
Keaton.
Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton. Yeah, that's good.
Danny DeVito.
Uh,
Was Danny DeVito in any of the Creeds? No.
The ice is gonna
No,
break.
Oh, he
Now, don't give me any argument. The ice is gonna break!
He was in there?
Yeah, he was also in there.
Fuck.
Christopher
I mean,
Walken. He was the mayor.
Ant-Man has Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd does comedies, doesn't he?
For the most part.
Yeah.
And maybe he's in one with Danny DeVito?
Okay. So, wait, which one did we want to click on then?
I was thinking Ant-Man. 20.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it was down here. Okay, so we'll go Ant-Man. And then we'll go Paul Rudd. Wait, was Michael Douglas in anything with Michael Keaton?
Michael Douglas is a good shout, though. Evangeline Lilly could
I don't
be
think so.
No.
decent, too.
Okay.
I think that comes to mind.
Who else was in Batman Returns? What was the woman? Because Michael Douglas has been in everyone.
Oh, yeah, the woman. God dang it, what's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, Michelle
Okay,
Pfeiffer.
so we're going to go...
She was with Michael Douglas.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, what was she in? Michelle Pfeiffer, was she in?
She was in Batman Returns. But she was also in Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
I think wasn't Basic Instinct.
No, that was Sharon Stone, right?
Oh yeah, with Sharon Stone.
Wait, so Michelle Pfeiffer, wasn't she... Was she in something with him?
Michelle Pfeiffer
Hold
was
on,
definitely in some.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael...
Wait, wasn't she married? No.
Where's Michelle Pfeiffer? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah, she's the mom.
Okay.
Oh, she's. Oh yeah.
Quantumania? So we can go Quantumania.
Yeah, it's
and then-
Quantumania, yeah.
And then we go to Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then where
Yep,
were we
she
going?
is.
And she was in the thing?
And she was in.
there's
Yeah,
Catwoman.
she was in
Anything?
Ant-Man Quantumania.
No, but was she in the Batman? How
Yeah.
was she related to Batman? Yeah. Okay.
She was in Batman Returns. She
That
was
is
Catwoman.
We did it! Yay!
Nice.
Short as possible is 2, so we only missed it by 1.
Interesting.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
not bad.
Nice. That's pretty
cool.
dope.
So
That's
actually,
pretty
this
good.
is way more fun than I thought. Okay, let's try one more. King Kong the Zoolander.
my-
Oh, Naomi watched Jack Black.
Oh, Jack Black, right?
Is Jack Black
Zoolander.
in Zoolander? Oh yeah,
No.
but he's got to be in something.
No,
with, what's
Jack
his
Black
name?
was
Yeah,
not in
because then you
Zoolander.
go
No, but he's got to be in something
go
with
to
Adam Sandler, right?
Owen
Isn't that his name?
Wilson or
Owen
Ben
Wilson.
Stiller.
Yeah.
What has Jack
who
Black
was
done with Owen
who was
Wilson
in
and Ben
Zoolander?
Stiller?
I can't. Was it
I
Adam
think Owen
Sandler?
Wilson,
in Zoolander, or
Ben
who was it?
Stiller. Oh, and the guy from Anchorman, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Will
let's
Ferrell's
see.
definitely been in something with Jack Black, right? Like,
No.
Jack Black was probably in Anchorman, wasn't he?
No.
Like a cameo?
No. Oh wait, yes, he kicked the dog.
Well, guess what? Now this is happening.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you doing?
That's how I roll.
Baxter.
He kicked the dog off the fucking
in the
bridge.
Legend Ron of Burgundy. So we'll do.
Because
Wait,
he hit
so
his
why-
bike and then he's like, well, I'm going to take something from you. And he
That's
takes
in the
his
filter.
dog
What
and
year
he
was it? What
fucking
year was it? Oh yeah, there was
place
a
kicks
filter
him.
thing. What was okay. Okay.
Yep.
And so we were going
Anchorman,
from
and then
here to where?
Will Ferrell.
And then was he in Zoolander or?
Well, he was in Jack Black.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, well,
Oh, wait. Is
yeah, he
in
was in
too?
Zoolander.
'Cause he's...
No, he's in both
Zoolander?
of them.
Okay, perfect. Bam.
Okay.
Okay, so then we just type in Zoolander.
Oh, he's in
Bam!
Straight.
We fucking did it.
Zoolander
Let's fucking
2.
go.
Go.
We did it the first lowest amount possible.
Damn.
Let's fucking go. Guys, we're movie legends. This
You're good.
shit's crazy. Okay, let's see. We should probably get into the Star Wars Down Under, but I think that we have a lot of really cool movie games now that we can play. So I'll bookmark this one once again. This
I was
is a
quickly
really fun
scrolling
one.
through to see if there was something like some weird Cronenberg thing, but I couldn't see any films I recognized in the like
Okay.
past challenges.
Gotcha. Yeah.